Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Sanjana and today I'm here with another clientele tutorial. I created this glamorous pink cut crease eye look on my beautiful model Fakanda, so if you want to see how I achieved this look, then just keep on watching. So jumping straight into skincare, I went in with the 430 Beauty Good Mood Gel Moisturiser and just applied that all over Fakanda's face just to kind of prepare and hydrate her skin before going in with all the base makeup products. Next I'm going in with the Glow Recipe Pineapple C Bright Serum and I'm just focusing that on Fakanda's T-zone area, so pretty much underneath her eyes, the center of her forehead, down the bridge of the nose and a little bit on her chin. And the reason why I'm putting more products in those areas is because I feel like in general when we apply makeup we apply more products to those areas like concealer and foundation, so I just want to show a bit more love to those areas. So for brows, I'm just brushing Fakanda's brows into place. Fakanda did do her brows beforehand, which I do appreciate so much. I always do recommend to clients to always do their brows before their makeup session because it just makes the whole process a lot more easier and a bit more seamless. But yeah, I went in with the BHcosmetics Ultimate Brow Palette and I just used the dark cream product to kind of shape and fill in any bold spots on her brows, which she didn't have much of, but you know, anyways. Yeah, and I just blended that out with a spoolie before going in with the dark powder product and just setting that cream in place before blending it out again to make it look a lot more seamless and, I don't know, like flowy with the brow, if that makes sense. I'm so bad at explaining things, I'm sorry, I'll do better. So jumping into the eye makeup, I went in with the P.Louise Base in the shade 0. I also mixed in a bit of shade 5 to get like a custom shade for Fakanda. And I'm just using that to clean up underneath her brows as well as to apply it all over the lid to prepare for the shadows when we apply it. I applied it with a brush before going in with a sponge to kind of blend it out a bit more seamlessly. And yeah. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and just with a precise bullet brush I'm going into the shade Love Letter and applying that to her outer corner and just kind of packing on product, blending, packing more, blending it out and just diffusing that shade out. I change from this brush to a clean brush every time I'm like blending it out, so yeah. I hope you can follow along based on what you see rather than what I'm saying, because I feel like I struggle to explain things properly, so I'm sorry if I didn't explain it clearly enough. I swapped out to an even fluffier blending brush just to ensure that the eyeshadow is even more blown out and blended. I'm now going in with the shades Red Ochre and a little bit of Cypress Umber and just focusing that on her outer corner to create a bit of depth and definition to this look, as you can see. I'm just going to cut the crease. I used the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, just a light concealer, and I'm just using this to carve out the ideal shape suitable for Fakanda's eyelid. And I'm also taking my time with this. I feel like a lot of people look at this and they're like, oh my god, they just brush it off or brush it on in one swipe. But no, I take a lot of time ensuring that my cut crease is super precise and super like on point. But yeah, once I applied that cut crease and I got the shape that I want, I just went in with a bit of makeup remover on a Q-tip and just removed that concealer, because I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the shadows were peeking through underneath that concealer. So yeah, just removing it kind of allows me to work with just a clean base. So now I'm just going in with P.Louise Base and that's my dog. Yeah, sorry, I went in with the P.Louise Base in the shade 0 and just used that to cover that lid space, so that way when we apply the shadows it'll stick onto something. I'm so sorry about that. My dog has entered the room and she wants my attention, so you might hear that throughout this video. I also just got a bit of love letter on the on a flat shader brush and kind of just used that to clean up around the edges of the cut crease before going into the shade Tempera and just placing that all over the lid. And I love this shade so much. It's kind of like a very slightly shimmery white, like a off pink white. And it just added like a slight bit of shimmer to the eyelid, so I really did enjoy the shade for this look. I'm also just going back into the shade Love Letter and just ensuring that there is no harsh line between the cut crease and the outer corner. A very small, precise flat shader brush and just going with a little bit of the shade Love Letter, I kind of just brought that onto the lash line and just kind of like blended it. And now for the fun part, I used the Stila liquid shadows in the shade Kitten, I think it is, and I pretty much used this to create like a glitter liner effect on the cut crease and kind of just define the cut crease a bit more. But then later, like after discussing with Fakanda, we decided that it wasn't as intense enough, so we went in with the Mecca Max Loose Glitter in the shade Fully Loaded. Is it the shade Fully Loaded? Yes. And I just added that over the top with a bit of glue, so it popped a lot better, and I just loved how like glamorous and how like, I don't know, it just gave that finishing touch for this cut crease. Also, I did add lash glue to help stick on the glitter on the crease. So for those asking what glue I used, it's just lash glue. And also, take a shot every time I say like in this video. I swear it's just something I can't get out of my vocabulary. Anyways, getting into the face makeup, we will come back to the eyes later, but for the face, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Cosmetics Luminous Putty Primer and just applying that all over the skin. Before applying this, I also did kind of go in with a wipe and just clean up underneath the eye, just to, you know, clear out any of that glitter that might have fallen onto the face. But yeah. For foundation, I went in with the Juvias Place Velvety Matte Foundation in the shade 550. I just applied that all over the face with a brush before going in with like a beauty sponge to kind of just blend it out a lot more seamlessly. For concealer, I'm also going in with the Juvias Place Concealer in the shade 18 and applying that underneath her eyes, in the middle of her forehead, down the bridge of the nose. I felt like this shade was very close to her skin tone, so I did go in with a lighter concealer from Colourpop, like the No Filter Concealer. I think I used the shade number 16 and just kind of focused that on the center of her eyes, like underneath her eyes, just to kind of brighten it a bit more whilst giving it the coverage from the Juvias Place foundation. But yeah, I just applied that and blended it out with a sponge, and yeah. I'm also using the Folklore beauty sponge that you can get from Shimmer Bazaar. You can use code SANJU for 5% off, so you can save some coin every time you purchase on Shimmer Bazaar. But yeah, I really do freaking love this sponge, you guys. It's so soft and like it's not harsh on the face. It blends out so seamlessly and so nicely, so highly recommend. But for cream contour, I'm going in with the Juvias Place Shade Sticks in the shade Namibia. I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry if I said it wrong. But I applied a bit of the product onto the sponge and just kind of pressed the sponge in the areas that I wanted the cream contour to be applied. Every time I apply this product directly onto the skin, I feel like I couldn't speak for a second, sorry. I feel like it's a little bit more tougher to blend out. But whenever I use this method of applying it onto my sponge and then blending it onto the face, I find that it blends out a lot more easier and it looks a lot more flawless on the skin. Anyways, to set the skin, I went in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, and I used the banana shade in this palette to just set underneath the eyes and everywhere that I concealed. And then I used that middle shade to set the cream contours in place. Now, you might feel a little bit frightened about putting a contour powder directly on wet product. And yes, if you do it incorrectly, you can have muddy and patchy mess on the face. But the way I do it is I tap the product on rather than like brushing it on, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you can see how I'm applying it. But my technique, I just never have that patchy mess, so I love doing this method. And yeah, applying that just wherever I cream contoured, as well as the sides of her nose, just very lightly because I don't want a harsh line on her nose. I'm also going in with the Colourpop No Filter Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent, and just using that to clean up her nose contour. And then I'm going into the eyes again. I'm just using the shade Love Letter from that ABH palette and just focusing that on her lower lash, just very close to her lash line. Just using a very precise pencil brush and getting real close to her lash line. yeah, and I think I've also mixed in a bit of the shade Cypress Umber to make it a bit more deeper, so yeah. So for mascara, I went in with the Colourpop BFF mascara in the shade, I think it's called Black on Black, and I just applied that to her top and lower lashes before going in with some false lashes that she provided. I actually don't know what brand and what style the lashes she provided was. If I do find out, I will leave it in the description box down below, but I do have the option for my clients to provide their own false lashes if they want to, but if you guys do provide your own lashes, please provide some good lashes, because the last thing I want for you is your look to turn out horribly because of the lash that you chose. If you are confused with what style and what brand to go for, you can always reach out to me for recommendations and I can provide you with that. But yeah, anyways, onto the face. For blush and highlight, I went into this blush and highlighter duo from Color Drain. I think it's called Damage Control, and I just used that blush. And before going in with the highlight, I did also set the face with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. So yeah. Now onto lips. I used the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Cold Brew, and I just used that to line her lips. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just lining her lips and just filling it ever so slightly, not too much. And then I go in with the Colored Rain liquid lipstick in the shade Cappuccino, and I just fill in her lip with that shade. I did want to lighten this lip combo a bit more, so I went in with the Colourpop Lippy Stick in the shade Cookie. I don't know if this is discontinued or not. I haven't really bought any lippy sticks from Colourpop in a while, so I wouldn't really know. But I love the shade to just kind of brighten up the lip. And I just blended it with a bullet brush before going in with some gloss. I used the Fenty, oh my god, I can't speak today. But I used the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy, and just applied that all over her lips. I then just set the brows with a brow gel. I don't really know the brand of this brow gel. My sister got this when she went to London last year, and I'm just using it because it is still a very good product. And then I set the face with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist before going in with some body shimmer. I went in with the Soul Body Glow Oil in the shade Rosé, as well as the shimmering dry oil from Soul Body in the shade Warm Gold. And that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this beautiful full glam pink cut crease that I created on Fakanda. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys want to see more of next. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!